Once upon a time, a duck mama and her 3 little ducklings were going on a special little journey inside a cute little jungle. But they were not alone. An evil hunter was lurking behind the bushes, keeping an eye. And then, something happened. All of a sudden, their happiness turned into fear and darkness. Not knowing what to do, they stood close to their mother, softly crying. And then the hunter came closer, his eyes filled with anger. The ducklings froze, their eyes watery with fear. He picked up their mother and walked away, leaving them all alone. A mama bear was watching everything from behind the bushes. She couldn't help but cry seeing the ducklings, and then she came closer and gently hugged them. And that night, they saw the hunter again at his camp, proudly eating what he had hunted. The ducklings couldn't help but cry. Seeing this, the mama bear gently took them away. But the mama bear did not abandon them. She took them in as her own, keeping them close, feeding them, caring for them, and becoming the loving mother they had lost. Soon enough, the ducklings grew up strong, happy, and full of life, and the mama bear felt prouder than ever. Wait, what?
That was pretty awesome, right? Now let me show you exactly how I made it, so let's get started. The tool I used to create this video is Visina AI. Ever since I started using it, I honestly haven't felt the need to switch to any other tool. But that being said, feel free to use whatever tool you're comfortable with. First, click the link in the description and sign up. Once you're inside, you'll see an interface like this. From here, click on Open Studio. Now the first thing I did was create the images. I generated multiple variations, experimented quite a bit, and then selected the ones that worked best for my project. As you can see, I didn't just settle on the first result. I tested different outputs until I found something I liked. One important thing here is that I used the director's cut feature to generate these images, and honestly, it's one of the best features I've used in any AI tool. Now let me recreate the process in front of you so you can follow along and make your own. Go to the director's cut tab and then select the Open AI model. Next, make sure sequence is selected. After that, you'll see options for grid size. You can choose 4 images, 9 images, or even 16 at once. For this example, I'll go with a smaller grid. Next comes the prompt. For the first scene, this is the prompt I used. As you can see, it's pretty simple. And the reason I use the director's cut tab instead of the normal image generation is because it creates a sequence of images while maintaining both character and scene consistency, which is exactly what you need for storytelling. After that, choose your quality, select your aspect ratio, and click generate. Then just let it do its thing and create the sequence for you. And this is the image created. Just look at this. This looks absolutely amazing. The character consistency is perfect across each shot, and this is exactly what I wanted to showcase for the sequence of them walking through the jungle. Now, if you want, you can use the extract feature from here to pull out individual images. You can extract all 4 frames separately and use them however you like. But here's the interesting part. If you are going to use Seedance 2 to turn the images into a videos, you don't even need to extract the images. Instead, you can directly add the sequence and your prompt, and it will generate a smooth, consistent video scene for you. So instead of just talking about it, let me show you exactly how I turn this into a video. First, switch to the video section. Next, from here, make sure you select Seedance 2 and then choose the reference to video option. Now add the scene image. To do that, click on the plus icon, go to the director's cut tab, and choose the image. That's it, the scene is ready. Now here's the most important part, your prompt. Unlike most video generators, you can't just use a vague or simple prompt here. If you do that, you'll most likely waste your credits. You need to make sure your prompt is detailed and structured properly. So the question is, how do you actually do that? Let me show you what I did. To create my prompts, I used the prompt lab, and honestly, it works incredibly well. All you need to do is give it your scene reference image along with a basic idea, and it will generate a complete professional level prompt for you. As you can see here, for each scene I used Prompt Lab, gave a basic idea along with the scene image, and let it handle the rest. These are the exact prompts that I used for my clips. Let me do it again and use the prompt it creates. First, select your scene reference image, which in this case is the one we just created. Then make sure you choose the detailed option so it generates a full JSON prompt. Next, set your video duration. For the first segment, I'm going with 12 seconds. If you want multiple cuts in your scene, you can enable cutscenes. I'll turn it on and set the number of cuts to 5. Now comes the easiest part. Just write a simple description of what you want in the scene. It doesn't have to be complicated, just describe the idea in plain language. Once you do that, hit generate. And that's it. It will create a highly detailed professional JSON prompt that includes character consistency, scene consistency, and even cinematic camera movements, which makes a huge difference in the final output. Once your prompt is ready, copy it, go back to the video section, paste it in, choose your settings. I'll go with fast 480p and set the duration. Then just hit generate. And this is the output it created. Wow, that looks awesome, right? I told you, if you use these detailed prompts, you end up saving a lot of regenerations, and most of the time, you'll get exactly what you're looking for on the first try, which can save you a lot of money and time. All right, so our first scene is ready just like that. Simple, right? Now let's move on to the second scene. In this scene, I want to introduce the hunter. Now, to maintain proper character consistency, here's exactly what I did. First, I went to the Characters Lab tab and created the hunter character. All I did was give a basic description of how I wanted the character to look, selected the style and mode, and hit generate. It then created a detailed character with multiple viewpoints, which is extremely useful for maintaining consistency across scenes. Once that was done, I saved the character so I could reuse it anywhere across the platform. Now, let's switch back to the Director's Cut tab. From here, you need to add the character by going to the character section and selecting the hunter I just created. Next, you can also include the previous sequence as a reference so I can maintain the overall context and continuity of the story. Now comes the prompt for the second scene. For this part, I wanted the hunter to be looking at them from behind and getting ready to hunt. So I simply wrote that as my prompt. I also tagged the hunter directly inside the prompt using the @ symbol, which helps the system understand exactly which character to use. And that's it. I hit generate, and it created the next sequence while maintaining both character and scene consistency perfectly. Trust me, you won't really understand how powerful this is until you try it yourself. And once you do, I'm telling you, it becomes very hard to go back to anything else. That's exactly what happened with me. It's just that good. And if you don't like the result on the first try, you can simply regenerate it, and it will usually create a different variation that fixes most of the imperfections. So you don't need to overthink or stress about getting everything perfect in one go. Okay, now let's turn this scene into a video as well. First, go to the prompt lab. In the same chat, add the hunter character from the characters section, since this scene includes the hunter. Next, in the scene reference, remove the previous image and add the new scene image, which is this one. Then select the detailed option, set the duration, and enable cutscenes if needed. After that, write a simple instruction describing what you want in this scene. Now here's the important part. Seedance doesn't blindly follow the input image. It understands your prompt, analyzes the reference image, and combines both to generate a proper result. So you don't need to worry about your sequence being perfect every single time. Once that's done, hit generate. It will create a detailed, structured prompt. Then copy the prompt, go back to the video section, add the character image and the scene image, paste the prompt, choose your settings, and hit generate. Wow, this time it gave the perfect result on the first try. For the video I showed you in the beginning, it took a few regenerations to get it right, but here it nailed it immediately. And again, all the credit goes to the prompt. Without a good prompt, this wouldn't have been possible. So yeah, this is basically the entire process. First, create your images, create your characters if needed. After that, use them to build your prompt. Then take that prompt, move to the video section, and generate your scene. That's exactly how all the clips in this video were created. And as you can see, there was no need to regenerate again and again. Once your inputs are high quality and your prompts are detailed, most of the time you'll get the result you want in one go. Now for the voiceover, you can use the text-to-speech feature from 11 Labs. Just paste your narration, select your voice, and generate it. One thing to keep in mind, I didn't rely on ChatGPT to write the script, and I'd actually suggest you don't depend on it for the core idea. Try to come up with your own concept, because AI-generated scripts can often feel generic. You can still use it to fix grammar or improve phrasing, but the main idea should always be yours. For the voice, this is the exact voice profile I used. And make sure you select the V3 model because it produces much more natural and realistic voiceovers. Once the voiceover is ready, bring everything into CapCut. Do some basic cuts, align your clips, add a filter if needed, and that's pretty much it. Your video is ready. So there you have it, an actual practical workflow you can follow to create amazing videos. Now it's your turn. Go ahead, try it out, experiment with it, and start creating something of your own. If you found this video useful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep grinding.